Are you having a good time? Guys, are you having a good time? Please, can you stand up on your feet? The guest of honor is on the way. Please, if you are healthy, you can stand up on your feet. Please, the crowd is coming to you on the way. The guest of honor is going to do that. Please, you can bounce wherever you are. Let's enjoy. Wow. Please, clap for the guest of honor, ladies and gentlemen. Wow.
Invited dignitaries and speakers, we have discussants here today. I believe we have some deans, directors, heads of department from MUHAS, and members of staff, the MUHAS leadership, the leadership of student associations at MUHAS. We have students from MUHAS and from other institutions. Dear participants, good afternoon. I'm humbled and honored to be invited here this afternoon to officiate this important activity of the university. But I'm especially pleased to be here today to officiate this innovative activity that has been organized by the students. I'm told this is the debate symposium, and I must confess, this is my first time to officiate a debate symposium. And I'm told it is titled The Deployment of Artificial Intelligence and the Related Technologies in HealthCare. And I'm saying this does not only fit in the main core functions of MUHAS Master in Sciences, which is teaching, research, and services, but it reflects innovative thinking of our students in line with the changing technologies in healthcare. Dear participants, this debate is designed to provide awareness and also stimulate discussion for the deployment of artificial intelligence and related technologies in healthcare. I tried to Google the meaning of debate. And what I found, and I quote, that a debate is a formal discussion on a particular matter. And the particular matter today is artificial intelligence and its application in healthcare. In a public meeting, this is a public meeting, or a legislative assembly, in which opposing arguments are put forward. And I believe we shall have opposing arguments, otherwise it won't be a debate. So we're expecting opposing arguments, and which usually ends with a vote. I don't believe we are going to make a vote, but I believe through the arguments we shall make our own decision and make our own internal voting. So, although the debate we are about to witness today will not end by voting, I believe discussants from both sides will try as much as possible to convince the opponent on what they did. For this purpose, I'm told that experienced individuals have been invited to take part in this debate. So the selection and the choice of the discussant that we have this afternoon, those people have been very carefully selected. They have experience from the field, that is where they come from. So you will all, therefore, very much benefit from this discussion. Dear participants, I'm also told that those who believe in artificial intelligence, that it is the beginning of a long journey of making digital technology with healthcare. That's what they are telling us. This is the beginning of a long journey of merging digital technology with healthcare. And they are telling us it is a journey of making digital innovations an accelerator of healthcare progress rather than a threat. And it is the fear of most people who are not receptive towards the application of digital solutions in healthcare. That's another side. And rightly so, we also hear from those who believe artificial intelligence is not the best option to enhance healthcare services in this country. Dear participants, as you are aware, a lot of efforts have been made by the government of Tanzania, non-governmental organizations, international organizations, and learning institutions like MUHAS to improve healthcare system in this country. And as part of development, more efforts and innovative approaches are still needed in order to improve healthcare delivery system in this country. And these include strengthening of human resources for health. We need specialists and different cadres of human resources for health. The infrastructure for healthcare delivery still need improvement, and also the support systems. And therefore, the use of technology is of paramount importance in the quest for solutions in addressing healthcare challenges that we are currently facing. So, discussants in today's debate will tell us whether the deployment of artificial intelligence and related technologies in healthcare should be part of the solution of this challenge. And for those who do not support artificial intelligence, will tell us why they think so, and should provide the best alternative approaches towards the common goal of addressing healthcare challenges. It's not good enough that I don't support artificial intelligence. You will have to tell us what is your best alternative approach, because we know we have the challenges that we need to address. So dear participants, what is not disputed, and for that we do not need a debate, is the fact that communication technology is growing fast in developing countries like Tanzania. And this is not disputed. So one of the powerful drives of information communication technology is data. We need data and make use of data. Data is a powerful source. It is what is behind the findings of research that we conduct and the services that we provide on a daily basis. Whenever we conduct research, whenever we provide services, diagnostics, treatment, we generate data. So it's through the use of this data that we can make difference. So it is therefore imperative that we all need to take advantage of the use of information communication technology in our healthcare delivery system. Dear participants, the debate that will be conducted today, it will provide avenue for many of us, including myself, to know more about artificial intelligence, technology, and related technology, and their potential use in healthcare delivery system. And that may include research, diagnostics, and treatment. Thus, this debate symposium should not only radiate the sparks of curiosity, I know we are all curious here today, and the spirit of learning, especially self-learning outside the classroom during your free time, but also should be the beginning of long and fruitful cooperation among the students. I'm told we have students here from different institutions, academia, and the people working in different fields, particularly those who are coming from the technology industry. And this will help us to create innovative solutions which are practical for the challenges that we currently face. And for students, this is a debate and it's an opportunity for you to acquire knowledge and aspiration. It will also deepen your understanding from traditional ways of healthcare delivery to more innovative ways of delivering healthcare. And for all of us, either as academicians, healthcare providers, researchers, technologists, or policymakers, I believe we will enjoy the debate and make use of the discussions in our own field. And I believe we shall enjoy the debate. So dear participants, let me end my opening remarks by once again congratulating the students from MUHAS and the partner institutions for organizing this debate. The MUHAS management is very proud of you and the initiative that you have made. And we will continue supporting such initiatives from the students. So with these few remarks, I'm declaring the debate symposium on the deployment of artificial intelligence and the latest technologies in healthcare officially open, and I wish you fruitful discussion.
Wow. Tanzania, thank you so much. Please, a round of applause for Professor Kamara, please. Thank you so much. So, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon once again. The opening remark from Professor Kamara was very nice. Without further ado, I would like to welcome you. There's a video which will be projected in front of us about artificial intelligence. Please welcome, take your time, take some few information from the video.
It's not about what technology can do, it's about what you can do with it. You're the voice, and it's the microphone. When you're the artist, it's the paintbrush. We are living in a future we always dreamed of. We have mixed reality that changes how we see the world, and AI empowering us to change the world we see. You have more power at your fingertips than entire generations that came before you. So here's the question. What will you do with it?
It's not the microphone, it's the voice from MC Pablo. That was the take-home message. After that short video, please I would like to welcome Afia Tuners. These are the ones who are involved with the use of animations in the provision of health education. Please, Afia Tuners. Karibuni sana, tuendelee kuenjoy video Afia Tuners. About to happen now is the time for debate. Before calling those who will be debaters, I would like to welcome Frank Yarabi, MD4 student from Muhimbili University of Health and Allied Science, who is going to give us a keynote about this debate. Please, Frank Yarabi, a round of applause, please.
Good afternoon. What is AI? So this is a question that that many of us will have, and this debate is the one that's going to give us answers. So I'm so honored to be here as a motion mover and a keynote speaker to this tremendous, great event at MUHAS, and I hope it will be very fruitful and impactful to all of us. So artificial intelligence, it means the intelligence that is exhibited by machines. It's different from natural intelligence. Natural intelligence is a kind of intelligence that humans and animals exhibit. So, for example, humans, we ride cars. But what if we teach a car to ride by itself? So that's artificial intelligence. A week ago, Google has just opened its AI lab in Ghana. It became one of the very big stories in Africa. The first AI lab in Ghana. And one of the statements during the opening of this lab was, I quote, a farmer in Tanzania will be able to get information about the disease that affect his crops on his or her fingertips by the application of AI. Now, before going further, there are some words from a professor from Stanford University. He said, we are living the post-industrial age, an evolution so profound that it may not be enough to compare to the invention of steam engine, the railways, the electricity. He is talking about the first, second, and third industrial revolution. Currently, we are living in the fourth industrial revolution. Now, what is this fourth industrial revolution? We are going to get many answers from our panelists. But in a nutshell, the fourth industrial revolution is characterized by artificial intelligence, robotics, and big data. Artificial intelligence, robotics, and big data. So today, from this panel, we are going to know these three concepts. So, you are warmly welcome to the Muhimbili University Students Symposium for Debate. And my name is Frank Yarabi, MD4 student, Vice President of TAMSA Tanzania. Now, is AI a reality? Yes, it is. We are living by it every day. From autocomplete when you type. When you are sending a text message using your smartphone, if you want to type the word Muhimbili, just after typing the word MU, M-U, it comes the word Muhimbili, then you click it, it auto-type itself. That's artificial intelligence. Recommendation on Google search. Whenever you go to Google search, maybe you want to search for nasopharyngeal carcinoma. You type the word naso, it comes by itself, nasopharyngeal carcinoma. Then you click it. Very simplified. That's artificial intelligence. Music suggestion. If you love music, every time maybe you go to Netflix or HBO or wherever, it gives you suggestions based on the most songs that you are listening. If you are an R&B lover or a hip hop lover, you will always find the songs based on your recommendations. Or if you go to YouTube, you want to watch a video. If you're a football lover, always the top videos you will see football games. That's artificial intelligence. And others, we talk to Siri, we talk to Alexa every day. So AI in healthcare, it has come to provide composite and panoramic views of individual medical data to improve decision making, to avoid errors such as misdiagnosis or unnecessary procedures, as well as to help in the recommendation of treatment. But every new technology that's coming, it comes with its potential benefits and its potential harm. What if a terrorist is using AI to create a super bug? or to create a robot that can destroy the whole world in a single day. It's a harm of artificial intelligence. So how are we going to adapt this kind of new technology? That's the kind of questions we are going to ask. And that's by this debate we're going to get answers from our panelists. Now, what is big data? Every day we produce zillions to 10 power 21 amount of data. In the medical field, we are producing a lot of medical data. How are we using this data for decision making? Because there is a famous saying that no data, no right to speak. If we produce enough data and if we don't use it, then what's the essence of producing it? So then comes the concept of big data. How are we harnessing medical data that we produce every day for decision making and for improvement of healthcare? While we keep data pouring out, we have really processed only a teeny of it. We're producing many data, but we have only processed less than 5% of it. Now, what will this big data concept or big data analysis bring to the field of medicine for better improvement of medicine? Okay, we're going to get answers today. Now, could artificial intelligence be the answer to these questions? Or could it be the harm? What about the harm it will bring? We will go and hear from our debaters. After the discussion is over, now what's next? Professor Kamwaba said that we should not just get out of here, get that curiosity. After getting out of here, we should go and act on what we gained today. How can we act it? Inspire, catalyze, and transform. We have to get inspired. Then we have to catalyze on what we have. We have to act. And then we have to come and transform our sector. We can learn from the Mawazo Challenge Accelerator. This was a project 2 years ago. It involved the USAID under the HDIF umbrella and with 3 partnerships, TAMSA, Sahara Ventures, and Tanzania Bora Initiative. This project was aimed at harnessing innovative ideas on betterment of healthcare from medical students all over the country. So Sahara Ventures provided the know-how on how to leverage on technology, bring changes in healthcare. TAMSA provided the people, the students, the think tanks, the brain. Tanzania Bora Initiative provide the engagement, civic engagement with these groups. As a result of this project, Afya Tool was born, Farmlinks was born, Jamii Medical Awareness, and other startups, which they are doing a lot on providing solutions to the healthcare challenges. Now, what if this kind of activity is sustainable, is being an ongoing project? By how far can we harness the ideas from students into transforming our health sector? Okay, now, what are these things? Artificial intelligence, big data, and robotics. This is what we're going to hear from our panelists. So, thank you so much, but before finishing, I would like to send my sincere thanks on behalf of the organizing committee to Jacob, who is not here today. He is not feeling well, but he is a second-year medical student, and he is a pioneer. He brought the idea of this debate. I will narrate a story on how these things came to be this way. Jacob, when he was in first year, he had an idea, he had a passion on artificial intelligence. Now, he wanted to get the know-how on how he can, majority people in this university will have to understand this artificial intelligence. So he conducted a survey using a Google form to students on different questions about artificial intelligence. He got the results. Then he applied for Tanzania Health Summit last year. He presented the results as a poster presentation. After getting the results, he saw the gap on knowledge about artificial intelligence in the university. Then he aggregated a team, the organizing committee. We started working together, and as today we are having this debate. Thank you guys. And
Thank you so much, Frankie Arabi, Chief Executive Officer from FarmLink. Karibu sana. Ladies and gentlemen, please, I would like to acknowledge the following for the sponsor in this symposium. First of all, in Phoenix, wanahusika na mambo ya mitandao simu. Please, you can go there and pay your visit. We have D-Labs, we have LabTech, we have MAT, TAMSA, and MUHAS. Please, thank you for being here with us. Without further ado, naomba niwakaribishe basi debaters. Please, debaters, naomba tusogee mbele. Please, debaters. Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? No, please. Are you ready? Are you happy? Piga makofi, piga makofi, piga makofi, piga makofi, piga makofi, tafadhali. Guys, you're not ready. Are you ready? Ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, in front of us, these are debaters for today. They are here to discuss the topic. Please pay attention. Make sure that you engage fully by getting some new information and be ready to ask a question. Please, karibuni sana. Without further ado, naomba mention panel list. I mean the list from these debaters. We have Innocent Goodluck, our very special guest from Harvard Kairoki University. A round of applause, please. Innocent. Thank you so much. We have Furaha Benedict, a very special guest from University of Dar es Salaam. A round of applause, please. Also, we have Fatma Omari from Susan, MD student, MD2, please. Wow. Imagine, all the way from Zanzibar. Piga makofi mengi tafadhali. Probably anaweza kama amekuja na karafuu. So, also we have Sales Nico, a DDS4 student from Muhimbili University, please. A round of applause. We have Mansuet Christian from Kairoki. Yes, thank you so much. We have Heaven Light Chitemo, MD4 student from Muhimbili. Please, thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, and we have our moderator. She's a very special guest from Department of Physiology from Muhimbili University of Health and Allied Science. She's Asha Billion. Please, makofi mengi kwake. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, please make sure you engage fully in this debate, and I would like to welcome moderator who will going to run up the show. Please, karibu moderator. Makofi mengi tafadhali.
Good afternoon. So, welcome again to the 2019 Muhimbili University Students Symposium debate. Today, our theme will be in solving Tanzanian health crisis. Will AI play a role? We have 6 debaters. We have 3 from the opposing team and 3 from the proposing team. To start off, I would like to start with the proposing team. Let's start with Mansuet Christian, who is an MD3 student from UBIZ, from HealthCare. Karibu sana.
I'm grateful to stand before you and to show you the opportunity that artificial intelligence is going to give and solve health challenges in Tanzania. So above are my points, so I'll start straight. The first one is due to an increase of data essential to executing treatment plan and improve healthcare services. So we heard from the motion mover, we know that artificial intelligence is a data engine. Without data, artificial intelligence about work, about function. So data is very much important. And data in healthcare is something very important also. How do we get data from healthcare? From clinical history, from note taking from the patients, from various hospital visits. That's how we get data. And so this data which they are used, most of them right now they are disorganized. They are misused. Some of them they are abused, and also some of them they can increase even the cost of treatment. So the answer to this is the deployment of artificial intelligence. So we have to know that data can be structured or unstructured data. How? Structured data are the data which we get from the imaging, genetic, EP data, from electrocardiograms and everything. So this data, we call them structured data. We have also unstructured data. Unstructured data are data from the medical notes, are data from the journals, are data from the internet, anything about health. That's unstructured data. So how do structured data and unstructured data function on AI? Structured data, we have techniques of artificial intelligence such as machine learning. We have another technique of artificial intelligence such as deep learning. We have another technique of artificial intelligence such as language, natural language process. So machine learning uses this structured data. We function on what it does, machine learning, it gives opportunity, it feeds on it gets the data which is structured already, and what it does, it analyzes and creates something that can be used on the time when the person needs something like needs a treatment. For example, I can go to an hospital and try to see where I can. Oh, let's leave that. I can move to the second point because my time is not allowed. But still, there is a big challenge like the privacy in data. Good enough, our ICT, our constitution of Tanzania. I can give an example. You can go and follow up ICT. In Constitution of Tanzania of 1977, Article 16, it gives security and privacy to this data. Also, the Cybercrime Act of 2015, it gives security to this data. So we have nothing to worry about data. We have nothing to worry about dealing with data. Moving to the second point, which is improving accuracy and reducing medical errors. Well, in 2019, there was an intensive survey which was done by the Ministry of Health. And this intensive survey was done on 28 hospitals in referral hospitals in Tanzania. And out of 28 hospitals, 17 referral hospitals in Tanzania were found with performance 33.3%. 33.3% out of 100% on imaging, radiology, and pathology. So it means that there are a lot of misdiagnosis, there are a lot of errors, there are a lot of errors and even misinterpretations of the images which we are obtained from these machines. So we are not trying to blame the physicians here. We are not trying to blame anyone. Good thing is that technology has given us a new opportunity, has given us a new window to come through. Artificial intelligence. So we can deploy artificial intelligence by having machines which can act, which can function, and we can use so as we can improve accuracy and reduce medical errors. There are a lot of things which have been done, and I can give a clear view on certain diseases such as cancer, cancer, cardiology diseases, and also and neurology. Well, there are a few people who did some kind of research and came up with new scientific ways whereby these diseases can be reduced. Well, in 2010, there was also a research which was done that these diseases dealing with disease of cancer, disease of cancer, radiology, where the ones living in death, whereby one death of 1,500 to 208 in this disease. So these people came up like with a way through, whereby there was IBM Watson, which suggests that AI can assist in diagnosis of cancer through the blinding condition study. Also, to conclude, I can say that we cannot run away from artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence is the future of medicine because we are all medical personnel here. So what we are trying to see is make sure that our patients get well treated and also to reduce hereditary diseases. As I can see, we can see my fourth point, which helps to solve maternal mortality and morbidity. So I would like you to know that this is the future of medicine. Thank you.
Asante sana Mansur. So from our first speaker, we heard of the use of AI in data analytics as well as in improving healthcare diagnostics. Our next speaker will be a PS4 student, Sales Nico. He's from Wimbir University, and he will be from the opposing side. Thank you.
Thank you. Good afternoon. My name is Siko, as introduced. And according to the motion, is AI a solution to Tanzanian healthcare? My answer is simply no. This is because of the 4 points that I have there, inshallah, I can spend time. My first point is the complexity of the healthcare systems and the healthcare needs in Tanzania. To explain this point, I will divide the healthcare system into a hierarchy of 4 components. The first one will be healthcare policy. The second one will be healthcare financing. The third one will be healthcare infrastructure and equipment. And the fourth will be healthcare personnel. Now, to have a solution of healthcare challenges in Tanzania, you have to solve all of these problems. But you have to solve them in a hierarchical manner as how they are arranged. That means that the most important stays at the base, the foundation. And the foundation of healthcare in Tanzania and in everywhere is what? Is financing and policy. And now we have to think, how does AI play a part in financing and policy? You can see that almost all the AI systems developed up to now have no way to solve financing of healthcare systems. When you look at the budgetary statistics, the Ministry of Health, in the budget of 2016-2017, was given around 766 billion, was allocated. But it was given 266 billion out of the 700. That is how much? That is way much less than 50%. That is 33% approximately. Now, if we are giving 33% of the money to the foundation of healthcare, which is healthcare finance, and we want to apply these newfangled technologies, artificial intelligence, machine learning, these new technologies, what they just do is they aid in management of patients. This is equivalent to having a very nice tractor. You have a very nice tractor, but you don't have rain, you don't have a plot to farm in, you don't have seeds. How are you going to have your agriculture? What you have to solve is the you have to have good financing, good policy. Then that's when we can think, maybe, add artificial intelligence. But for now, no. My second point will be the feasibility of AI set in Tanzania. The feasibility, what do I mean? I mean mainly 2 things. The first thing will be electricity and data networks. AI needs a lot of data. AI needs a lot of data connectivity. We need
4G. Right now we have 5G already, but we don't have it here, but we have 5G. But we need that. We need electricity. Approximately 40 to 50% of Tanzania is covered by electricity right now, but way less than that is covered by data and everything. So you don't have data, you don't have electricity. Where are you going to put your AI? In what most healthcare centers, they don't even have electricity for maternity wards. They don't even have electricity for labor wards. They don't even have electricity for theaters. You're thinking to put on those healthcare centers artificial intelligence where you don't even have electricity. That's going to be a miracle. I don't know. The third point is the cost and production management of AI with regards to cost, to opportunity cost, and cost-benefit analysis. Opportunity cost is what you have to give so that you can pursue another opportunity. What opportunity do you have to give so that you can pursue another opportunity? So for us, as a poor country, we have to give up something so that we can pursue AI because we cannot have both of them. Okay, so what are we going to give up? Are we going to give up our radiologists? Are we going to give up our doctors? Are we going to give up our syringes, our drips? No, we cannot do that because these things have actually been proven to treat patients. But AI is still experimental. We cannot bet on experiment as a poor country. No. I'm sorry, the meeting is gone. But finally, my last point, I'll just go to say, why AI? Why do we need AI? We don't need AI. I know that for now we don't need AI. We will need it 10, 15 years, but for now we don't need AI. Why? Because Stanford University last year, the year 2018, had a special AI algorithm called CheckSpot. CheckSpot is an expert in reading chest x-rays. And this CheckSpot is an artificial intelligence system. It was competed against 4 clinical radiologists. These are medical specialists, they are doctors. And CheckSpot got this diagnostics right by 81%. It was able to diagnose 81% of the disease correctly. You know what the doctors did? The doctors got 79%. That's a difference in 2%. We all know a difference in 2% in radiology is not a difference in management. You can do with 79% perfectly, and you can still manage your patients, you can still do operation, you can still carry out your radiotherapy. But I'm winding up. But you have 2%. Now we want us to employ a very expensive, very new system for only a difference of accuracy of 2%. Think about that. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Silas. So from Silas, we heard the prioritization of innovation. Is there any feasibility of employing AI when we are lacking so much in our healthcare system? Our next speaker will be from the affirmative side, Furaha Benedict. She's a second-year student from the University of Dar es Salaam.
Good afternoon, everyone. As you have heard, my name is Furaha. I'm pursuing a bachelor degree in computer science at ICT. I'm sitting here to accept that AI can bring improvement in our healthcare challenges. As you often know that prevention is better than cure. AI-powered softwares and web-based tools can be used to educate our population about different causes of diseases and preventive measures and healthcare matters in general. Because there are diseases that we can avoid if we know that this way I'm going to be infected or I can do this to avoid this. So I'm optimistic. The second thing is, according to the World Health Organization report of the year 2017, Tanzania has a doctor-to-patient ratio of 1 doctor for 20,000 patients. That's quite scary. And you can just imagine, it takes 4 years for a nurse to learn, but it takes 9 months for a woman to give birth. So you can just calculate to yourself, 9 months and 4 years, how many kids am I going to have? So I can tell you that I trust so much that we're going to have a good doctor-to-patient ratio in that time. And that's where AI comes, that we can use digital consultation. For example, there is this platform, web-based platform called Daktari Mkononi. You can get a consultation on different topics. For example, you can ask different questions about what they have designed in their tool. And they can even make an appointment for you with a doctor, and that will avoid you from long queue waits at hospital, which is quite a problem for us, actually. Something else is with multivariate analysis as track. It can be used to track the HIV multi-genetic variability, because as you know, HIV varies, and that's what makes it quite difficult to make a treatment or even to vaccinate people. So with that power of AI, they can track that variability and see, possibly even make treatment for that disease. My next point is AI can augment the expertise of healthcare workers. As we know that a human is subjected to being tired, and AI can help in a way that AI-assisted surgery can help a doctor know where are his flaws during a surgery. Also, it can make an analysis of the technical capabilities of doctor. And why not do that in places where you don't have doctors and only nurses, if they can be led on what they can do. And my last point is AI-powered transportation tools can be used to supply medical aid to people in remote areas. For example, here actually, in Rwanda, they use drones to supply medical aid to people in remote areas. And why can't we be optimistic that if our neighbors Rwanda people are doing it and it's Africa, why not in Tanzania? So I'm telling you that you don't have to think that AI is something so difficult, is something so like thinking about the robots, they're going to replace your job. No, they're not going to replace your job. They're going to work with you. Thank you.
Thank you, Furaha. So Furaha talked about AI bridging the gap in the healthcare field, in augmenting the treatments, as well as in disease surveillance. Our next speaker will be Innocent Buddha, MD3 student from HKMU, from the opposite side.
Thank you. Good afternoon. Innocent Goodluck, MD3 student, HealthCare Memorial University. I am a big fan of artificial intelligence. Actually, I'm a big fan of MUHAS. But when it comes to health, I am very, very skeptical. And you can notice in my PowerPoint display there. Go back. Yeah, the word health is bolded. It is bolded because, according to me, health is synonymous to life. Because health and life are the same thing. So this is not something we can play with. First of all, my first point is that it is economically impractical to deploy. It is economically impractical to deploy artificial intelligence in Tanzania healthcare, because we are talking of a country with 55 million people that has only 5 fully functional MRI machines. We are talking of a country that according to DCRA has 23 million people using accessing internet, and among them 19 million use smartphones, and quite very few are very well equipped with artificial intelligence, applications and so on. In such kind of a country, with such kind of poor technological infrastructure, you cannot tell me you are really thinking of deploying artificial intelligence in healthcare. Another reason is because the United States set out funds for the research of artificial intelligence. They sent out $850 million just for the research. And for us, we have the government set out $500 million for the entire Ministry of Health, the budget of the entire Ministry of Health. Now, this is remember this, the first 850 is just for the research of artificial intelligence. Now, we are $500 million for the entire ministry. And you're telling me you can use that money to deploy artificial intelligence. Are you kidding? We're talking of a country that meets only 32.9% of its energy needs. This is a recent picture. It was an inauguration of electricity in a village in Kigoma, Ruga. Just from the way you see it, you can even imagine what kind of medical facilities are there, and you really want to deploy artificial intelligence. My second point is that retinopathy diagnostics in India have been successful. What they won't tell you is the fact that it has gone through a lot of bureaucracy to get there. Until now, Google's eye system is now satisfied. It has now been certified in Europe, but it still awaits approval from the United States. Imagine these countries that collaborate every day, but still go through very bureaucratic procedures to install this system. Imagine them doing that for a country like us. Wouldn't that be more bureaucratic than ever? Now I am concluding. Let's conclude. Yes, I'm concluding. I'm just concluding. Now, instead of this kind of evolution, where you have a robot in the end, I suggest something else. What about we train more doctors, we train more specialists, so that we can have specialists even in the most remote places in the country, so that maybe we can reach services to more people with human beings and not have the history. It is too good to be true.
Thank you. So from innocent we heard the impactability of AI in Tanzania, even the healthcare system, even the funding as well. Our next speaker will be from the affirmative side. Heaven Chitemo is an MD4 student from MUHAS.
When I think of health data, I think of a pile of files and application reports. I think of genetic information that is still to be understood by most humans. I'll use an example of targeted real-time early warning system called TRUES. This is an AI tool that was used to assist physicians to diagnose or monitor people who are at risk of developing septic shock before organ dysfunction sets in. And in several researches, it has actually managed to alert physicians even 24 hours earlier before the onset of organ dysfunction. Something that adding more humans in the emergency department to go through files would take a longer time, would actually be impossible, considering that 1 hour loss in the diagnosis of septic shock causes an increase in 7 to 8% chances of mortality of the patient. So instead of needing more people, we need tools that can be able to integrate, analyze patterns, give us associations, and assist the doctor in making the correct information at the right time. We're all in one point being exposed to research. The main purpose of research is to discover, to come up with things that people do not know yet. If you search the word sepsis in Google Scholar, you get 2.2 million results. If you narrow it down to sepsis in adult females, you get 194,000 results. Going through a list of this literature to find out a gap so that I could come with a research that has value is time-consuming, requires money, and of course a lot of human resources. But since the introduction of artificial intelligence in research, we've seen advancements from parallelism check, tools for referencing, artificial intelligence peer reviews, all the way to automated labs, nanobots that can be able to do genetic studies and molecular studies in a short time. They could run through thousands and millions of research and literature to come up with a knowledge gap, and will enable you to do a research that actually has the real meaning, that is, come up with new knowledge. Something that in developing countries like ours, what we do is replicating, because we cannot go through all researches that exist. According to the WHO countrywide charts, 33% of deaths in Tanzania only are accounted by non-communicable diseases. These are chronic and non-treatable. When we see a patient at the hospital, we cannot really do anything about their diabetes. We can just make their life better. There are current AI tools like FeedGenry and Calorie Mama. These are interactive, day-to-day, weekly, and monthly apps that can interact and engage a consumer. You could take a picture through your camera. These are free apps. You can take a picture through your camera with the things that you have at home. And FeedGenry can give you the type of diet that you can take. It can ask us what type of calories you've taken per day and tell you that you've reached your limit. Calorie Mama, all you have to do is scan the photo of your food and it will tell you how much calories it has and how much you should eat. These are things that a person can do day to day, interact with them, then go online and see a fixed table of things that can relate. Many people were not taking these lifestyle changes because they were so far away. They were data from perhaps a 40-year-old English man. I'm a different person, I have my different genetics. I need things that can relate to my life. And these tools are way personal. They give you a personalized medicine day by day. Health and disability. Disabled patients in our settings, these are people who are immobile. These are people who are isolated. In one way or the other, their lives have ended. They require someone to help them to do even the simple things as moving from one place to another. AI tools, example, the intelligent walker or iWalker. This is a wheelchair that can interact with the patient. It can follow commands. It can interact with the environment. Like if there's a table, it can move so that the person does not have to fall. It grants disabled patients a degree of freedom. It improves their lives. And no doubt, it will enable them to alleviate the stresses that they get from disabling conditions. So in my choice, in my seeing, at one point, humans were okay using stones. Then someone discovered fire. I'm sure it was a problem for everyone. Sitting inside this room as educated people, we do not want to advertise. Let's not take in technology because we will lose our jobs. That is not something we should all be sitting here and discussing. We should be thinking what tools we can integrate with our professions for the betterment of the people. It does me no good. It does me no good to see millions of surgeons while millions are still dying. It does me a lot of good if I see millions of surgeons with artificial intelligence tools that can help them to actually manage these patients, that can help them to do something on time, personalized, and help to get better and bigger results. So what I think the future world is about employing technology. Thank you.
Thank you, Mama. So, Heather, we heard a very spirited argument on why AI will be best in augmenting the healthcare system. Our last and final speaker is from the opposing side. She is a MB2 student from Susan Fatma Umar. Welcome.
Good afternoon to you all. So, when I saw the topic was the artificial intelligence and Tanzania, and looking back on our natural history, it didn't stand up for me. Because first thing first, we're talking about deploying artificial intelligence as a developing country. Tanzania, which is faced with high rural-urban migration, we're talking about high population growth here, and artificial intelligence. I was actually very concerned because based on my first point about artificial intelligence is the skepticism which is actually surrounding this bubble of artificial intelligence. We know that artificial intelligence for now is still in its infancy stage, it's still in the cradle, but we're expected 20, 30 years later when we've developed such a stage that we actually would be having proper artificial intelligence. You wouldn't need a doctor anymore. Just artificial intelligence, things would just be okay for you. Now, what I wanted to question about this is that can we actually predict that this system will be harmless for us? That's what I want to question. Because we need to be skeptical about its performance and compatibility together. Because otherwise, we would be dooming ourselves, especially in our rights. For example, our right to privacy. We know that now, every single time you go on the internet, there's a chance for you to be hacked in your account. So what is it to say that an artificial intelligence system cannot be hacked to kill millions of people? It's something that we need to think about, guys. Moving further, I would like to leave you all with a question. Based on the skepticism that is it actually worth to take that leap of faith into the unknown of artificial intelligence just for the mere fact that it would benefit us all? What if it kills us all? Now, we cannot accept this blindly because it would actually be an insult to our own intelligence. So it shouldn't be a delusion to ourselves that artificial intelligence will solve all of our problems. But I'm not a pessimist, though. I'm just trying to question whether we can actually deploy the system and it could work perfectly. First, at what cost would it be for us? Now, I know that all of us, we have smartphones here. And we are actually so dependent on this. I mean, we cannot start our morning without our cell phones. Meaning, imagine, it's the first thing that wakes you up in the morning nowadays. So, now with this thing, we're just becoming too dependent on these artificial intelligence systems. What is it to say that when they're totally dependent on this? I mean, 20 years, 30 years later, we can't even move from one place to another without worrying about artificial intelligence. Like, oh, you have to move. You might be thinking maybe I'm negative and I'm just focusing on the bad part of this, but actually it's high time that we need to question ourselves. I mean, I will give you a realistic example of what this AI is doing to us. I mean, a couple of 1800, 1700 years ago, we were actually crying for industrial revolution, weren't we? Oh, we wanted high-speeding cars, we wanted electricity, at what cost? Now global warming is upon us and every day we're crying that, oh my God, we can't stand this heat, it's too much. Climate change. It's something we have to think about. We're deploying artificial intelligence, and then after a couple of years, what's to say that it's not going to bring more global problems? What about the catastrophic events that are going to happen to us? Do we not care about that as well? So it's something that we need to be skeptical. Now, the problem with this is that previously we wanted the cars, let me take an example, we wanted a moving cars, but we didn't actually consider the fact that the carbon emitted from that car would actually be harmful to us. Now we want to deploy it, and sometimes we're talking about artificial intelligence that they were making superhumans. What is to say one day you're trying to teach a patient and the artificial intelligence is right there to tell you, you're wrong, it's not supposed to be like that. So it's something that we have to be skeptical about. And moving on, I will talk that it does not address directly the problems that we have here in Tanzania, our shortage of doctors, our shortage of health facilities. In a study estimated by WHO that a woman has to walk approximately more than 35 kilometers to reach a healthcare facility. So how does artificial intelligence help us? It would call for a helicopter to get that lady from Knoxford and get her here. It doesn't make sense. We need to focus on more realistic. Let's teach more doctors. Make them confident, because I'm not sure, we don't get someone into medical school with all F's in their basic sciences. Is it not? So, it's high time we need to deploy this. I mean, if a human being, we make the artificial intelligence, we're not stupid. Why? I'll wind up. Why is it to say that we cannot just work on ourselves and improve ourselves in a sense that to beat this artificial and just use the common technology that we have now? Thank you.
Thank you very much. Fatma was our last speaker. She talked about the dangers, the possible dangers of AI, as well as, I think she touched on the issue of singularity, as well as the prioritization of innovation in Tanzania.
It may be a proposer or opposer. It is going to be none of our business. Please, naomba basi niwakaribishe for questions. They are ready to answer your question, please. Karibu, call me anytime.
Thank you. My name is Corey Innocent Regis. I'm a student here at UAPD. Actually, I had a question to Raha there. She talked about the dog operation ratio, and again, the other speaker came and talked about the budget. So right now, what I want to say is that the doctor-patient ratio seems to be this was a problem, just because you cannot employ doctors. The issue is not the ratio. Doctors are there. People are suffering from employment, and I think people that at the. So now the issue is, if you have the budget of 5 million USD, you are not employing enough doctors, and now you're saying about pay the machines. You are not able to pay doctors, that's why you're not employing them. And now you want to deploy machines to replace doctors. Are you able to pay machines? You might be mad. So you don't pay people, you pay machines. Talk about it.
Thank you. As I said, then you have a doctor's patient ratio, one doctor for 20,000 people. And you say we have doctors. Okay, right. What is more important? Without having more doctors or having less people dying? Because it means having more doctors, it means we have more people dying. If we are increasing the rate of doctors, it means that we have so lot of diseases. We are not solving the health challenge. We are not solving the problem of disease, but we want that the disease may increase. That's what we want. That's my question. The second thing is you all praying about money. Okay, so I think we will arrive to a point that, and it's not far, don't think that it's coming to come after 10 years or 15 years. I know that we are in a democratic country, so if we see that there's a important thing, our government also will see how it's going to solve about that. So don't try thinking about money all the time. Also, saying that we need equipment. Don't think that we need the most sophisticated equipment, for example, robots. Don't think about that. And in my first point, I talked about preventive measures. So why people are not thinking about preventive measures, but are only thinking about solution? Prevention is better than solution. So why make our efforts more on prevention than on cure? So that way I say that artificial intelligence can be a solution. Thank you. I think I answered all the questions.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, please make sure that you make your question simple as it is possible, so that now waweze kujibu kwa urahisi zaidi. Usiulize swali ambalo liko more complex, hujali simplify mpaka unataka atumie kijiji. So make sure you make your question so simple. Please nikaribishe maswali mengine. Karibu.
Yeah. My name is Peter Matthias, a 5th-year medical student from MUHAS. My question goes direct to the first presenter. Explain how AI will prevent the genetic diseases. Thank you.
That was my last point but I didn't present it. So how? Well, there's something called personalized medicine. You know about personalized medicine is the medicine which tries to, is the way we use technology to inhibit genes, to detect the genes which can harm or can develop something like cancers or any kind of diseases later. So what we're trying to do is not Can you repeat your question again? What's the point you said, you know?
Explain how AI will prevent the genetic diseases. Thank you.
Are going either to be the risk, they are going to be to increase the risk of genetic diseases. I can give one of the examples. There is a technology called increased PR, which is using AI. This technology is trying. It is not ethical, but what it does, it tries to check for any kind of genes which can either develop a risk or can either develop hereditary diseases later. And this program, it is mostly used when a person, either on the child when he's born, so as later we can prevent these hereditary diseases. We have a lot of hereditary diseases, we have a lot of congenital diseases, and these have increased mortality of maternal and childhood. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Any other question? Once we have your comment from opposing side, that wasn't a question, but it was a comment. Can we hear from the last speaker, please?
Okay. Also, my comments to the opposing side. They have been speaking about economy, infrastructure, technology, and also about the future. So, in economy, so if you take AI, if it's a huge thing to deploy that, it needs a lot of finance. There are a lot of funding stuffs that are out there. So if you take AI, such kind of a thing, there are a lot of funds, such as the systems. That's a competition that funds you. See, it provides a fund of more than $1 billion. So as you just heard, AI is not a huge thing that requires a lot of funds. So about economy, that is a no. AI is something that we really need in Tanzania. Also about infrastructure and technology, we say that as Tanzania, we are poor in technology. But let me tell you, there are a lot of instincts here in Tanzania. And there are a lot of hubs in Dar es Salaam that are trying hard to inspire them and to empower them in technology. So if the government really supports the hubs, we can get a lot of instincts who will advance this AI in Tanzania than in other nations. Also, he said that AI can bring us more harm in the future. And as a matter of fact, if it comes to technology, there are always side effects to that. So we cannot avoid those harms that will be brought by AI. So, and also something to finish. The first speaker from the opposing side, you said something very annoying that Tanzania we are poor. Let me tell you, Tanzania we are not poor. Maybe Tanzania we are poor, including you and the exception of us. Thank you.
Thank you. A 1 minute comment from the opposing side. A 1 minute comment, please.
£100 million. Up to today, DeepMind has failed to produce a profit because it has been researching on this software called AlphaGo. AlphaGo is a software made to play a board game, just like chess, but Go is a Chinese board game. Now, they have used up to almost right now, we're talking about £600 million to just develop the software that can play a game. Do you understand? Think of a software that is going to decide that you are going for palliative care, you are going for surgery. How much will that cost? A person's life should not be compared to a cucumber. However, according to the IMF report, Tanzania is pretty much a very poor country with an economic growth rate of 4.4% as of today. We are still, majority of us are still under $1 income, maybe including me. If you are not, maybe that's fine. Misconception of AI. I am a very big fan of AI. What I'm saying is that I'm an even bigger fan of healthcare. So I will not put my patients' lives at risk for something that is still very much experimental. Thank you.
We're going to receive one last special question from a lady. You're welcome.
proposing team and then sorry. You talked about a very interesting concept and I was very interested and amazed. You talked about Calorie Mama. To me it was the first, I just heard it today, which was, according to this, you spoke about using these apps in our phones that can help you know and you can be able to see what kind of calories you're eating and the effect they're going to cause on your diet. I mean, on your health, yeah? And cause these diseases. So my question exactly is, we are trying to, the discussion topic is in solving Tanzania health challenges. I believe we are talking about the people. And generally, the people in our country cannot afford phones with camera. Let's start with that. Phones with camera, it's a challenge. Let's not talk about us who are in Dar es Salaam. We have 30,000, even 35,000. I went recently to Lake Kariakoo and I got a 45,000 phone, which had no camera. The camera works, but it can't serve in the gallery. That's the first. The second is the internet. You have Facebook. Facebook, apparently, we can use Facebook anywhere. Alhamdulillah for that. But Facebook is not what we're going to be using in order to calculate the calories. So my question to you, my dear, is, can we really, do you see that Calorie Mama or these apps as something we're going to be using? Tanzanians, the major Tanzanian population, the people, is it really, is this something that can be really done or can be seen currently? Thank you.
Okay, well, thank you for saying that it was the first time to hear about Calorie Mama and Fit Genie. These are free apps. They're found in Apple Store. You can download them in a normal techno phone and they can work. And what we're saying is, again, I would stick to my point. We are not campaigning for a single magical pill to solve everybody's problem. These will things that a simple person can use. All you need is to teach those people how to use them and they can employ them. We're not talking about self-talking robots that can be walking around teaching people what to do. And in addition of that, we've been hearing that AI would, for one reason or the other, kill us all. Well, we do not need technology to kill us all when we are killing ourselves. We just need antibiotics. I mean, we are taking them recklessly. We are creating superbugs ourselves. We are getting diseases that are not responding to antibiotics ourselves. We would kill each other anyways, technology or no technology. I mean, the human mind works mysteriously. We have done things that have killed people without the employment of AI. So we need these tools that are simple. We were not talking about robotics, robots that we see when you go to YouTube and you type AI. The first videos it gives you of robots who are walking. Those are not the tools we're speaking about. We're speaking about practical tools. I have several in my simple phone. It's not even expensive. I mean, we're not talking about massive technologies. We're talking about hand-to-hand things that a person can use every day that will prevent me to go to the hospital, spend $45,000 to consult a specialist, asking questions that Flo would have answered me in my room. Thank you.
Wow, thank you so much. Asante sana, I would like to for such a nice presentation on Calorie Mama. Sasa swali langu ni kwamba unaonaje na mimi nikianza kutumia Calorie Mama? Thank you so much. Please, I would like to welcome moderator for the conclusion.
So now I guess we will continue with the program. Thank you.
Thank you, please. Makofi mengi kwa tafadhali. Round of applause, please. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much. Now, please, you can take your seat. Makofi mengi kwa tafadhali, please. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for your full attention from this debate. Thank you so much. Mama tuendelee kwa pamoja. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I would like to welcome Shangazi for the presentation. Please, Shangazi, then Dr. Mkononi gets prepared. Karibu sana.
But all of them, they are trying to explain how artificial intelligence
can benefit us into solving our health problems. So I will be calling our honorable panelists to join us on the stage. I will start with Joseph Paul. Welcome, Joseph Paul. He's a 5th-year medical student here at MUHAS, and he is also the CEO and founder of Daktari Economy. Many cheers to that. Second, I will welcome Martha Shaka. She's the only lady, aside from me, in the panel. So, yeah, I'm a feminist. So, Martha Shaka is a lecturer at UW, but also she specializes in computer learning, and currently she's working on artificial intelligence in malaria diagnosis. Second, I will welcome Dr. Fabian Mombeki. He is a data scientist from Savannah Informatics, but yeah, he's a doctor of all trades. He is also a doctor and a data scientist. What a mix. Okay, next I welcome Dr. Bruno Sunguya. He is the Director of Research and Publication from MUHAS. He has specialized mainly on health nutrition and child and maternal health. And lastly, but not least, we have 2 more, sorry guys. I welcome Mr. Jumane Tambalike. He is a CEO of Sahara Ventures, and he is also focused in design thinking. And if we remember HPI Mawazo Challenge, he was one of those people behind that project. And lastly, but not least, I would like to welcome Mr. Agapiti Mande, who is a co-founder and director of research and information, D-Lab. Please welcome. He is focused into connecting innovators and developers into solving different problems. So yeah, this is our final discussion, and we still have a subtopic. So how can AI benefit us into solving our health problems? Our panelists, are you ready? Yeah, they look so ready. As I said before, I'm a feminist. So yeah, ladies first. So Martha, you're a lecturer at UW, but also you're currently working with AI into helping to diagnose malaria. But my question to you is, what kind of projects are you doing? You have talked about malaria. Would like to know more, how are you using AI into malaria diagnosis? And what does your project have impacted the community so far?
Okay, thank you. You see what projects I am currently working on?
Yeah, that are health related.
Okay. At the University of Dodoma, I'm working with my very hardworking 5 students in malaria diagnosis. So it's all about trying to get the bridge between using a microscope and the MRBT. We know MRBT is much more faster. That does not provide the quantity, like how many malarias do you have compared to a microscope. But the problem with the microscope is that it takes more time. So for us, we're trying to train a model that can detect if you have malaria or not, and how many malarias do you have, like how many parasites do you have. So far, it's like in the development stage. We collaborate with the Benjamin Kaba Hospital for data collection, for experts giving us feedback on the model. Currently, we have an accuracy of 98% to determine if you have malaria or not. We are adding more data to the model so that we can be able to say how many parasites do you have. It's more on the diagnosis, and the users are the lab technicians.
Okay, so in simplicity is that after the completion of this project, as healthcare personnel, we'll be able to diagnose malaria very fast and will know the virulence of the malaria parasite. Thank you very much. And he is my classmate. Hello, Juby. Yeah, so I have known you when I was studying here in Muimbili. You have been always very passionate about technology. And by the way, he was our project coordinator from Rotary. He was always about merging health and technology. So what is the drive? What is moving you?
So basically, what has been driving me towards connecting the two, technology and healthcare, is because I remember back then, we were first year, we came here very energetic on anatomy. Dr. Ambuja, you have to create all the bones today, as useless, etc., etc. So when we compile all these knowledges, anatomy, physiology, etc., we see how can we reach the people? Nigeria, where we come from, a lot of people are poor, not very poor, but so they really need our help. That is what I thought. And what is the best way to reach many people? I'm not saying we reach all the Tanzanians, 6 million, something like that. I'm not saying we should reach all. We can if we want to, but let's start pole. So the best way to reach all these people is through technology. There is no other best way. What can I say about when you wake up, you're going to take your smartphone? It's because it's the easiest way of communication. So I can get my run, play the morning. The best way is using your smartphone because it's easy, it's cheap, it's fast. So this is also the best way to reach as many people as possible. So I thought, okay, so what do we do now? We have to hire a group of technological programmers, in fact, computer science, and engineers, or etc. But I thought the best way to make a health system is to be from the healthcare providers. Because we understand the patients more than everyone else. If you tell me, Mfano, kama the MCO say, I have a headache, a stiff neck, someone from engineering won't really know what's the problem. Like if you ask rather, especially from internal medicine, they can come up with 1,000 differential diagnoses. You see, that is how things work. We really need these people formed. So we have to connect all this programming, we have to learn slowly and come up with things like the economic, etc. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. So you're trying to connect health and technology so as doctors and healthcare personnel, we can reach as many people as possible because we are so close to our technology. Mr. Dapiti, I have a question for you. So what kind of healthcare projects and programs that you have been doing so far with ELAB?
Good afternoon. As what I've been introduced, my name is Agapiti Mandai from the Tanzania Data Lab. Most of what we're doing is all about data. So it's been very fascinating today to hear about everything about AI, but I haven't heard much about data. It's just Dr. Elsa who mentioned that we can't do anything without data. And I just want to, in answering your question, I just want to inform everyone in this room that there's no AI without data. Period. So the more data you have, the more AI intelligence you can program all the algorithms and everything. What we have been doing currently is sustaining the data ecosystem in Tanzania, and as well as making sure that there's a lot of training and awareness about data. So we've been working with the likes of the Benjamin Upper Foundation. JPA go through the Saudi program, been working with ICAP, the local government authorities through, the Ministry of Health, Ministry of Tanzania, regional administration, local government. All of that we've been trying to make sure that, we train data management, the analytics of data, the storytelling, the visualization, making sure that data is useful. So currently, what we mostly emphasize on is making sure that data is open, because you can talk about, big data and open data. Now, these are two different aspects. How big is the data is something which, everyone here should be asking themselves. And how open is the data is something else as well. Thanks.
Okay, so when we were talking in debate, somebody said that we have a problem in the data that we have. And I'm so happy that you just reaffirmed the idea that we really need to have data, but it's not just about data, it's the quality of data. So, Dr. Fabian, you're a doctor, but also you're working with AI, you're a data scientist. So we'd like to know from your experience as a doctor running a tech company, what potential does AI have for the healthcare industry?
Okay, thank you so much. First of all, before I say anything, I think I'm trying to tell you exactly what AI can do. But I just want to let you know we are looking for people with so much talent like what I saw today. We run our very forward-looking company. We currently have 2 flagship projects or solutions that we're looking into. And I'll be so glad some of you here to join our team as interns or in the future to do something. So I want to put that out there that we're actually looking for people that I'm really, really excited that I've been talent here. Now, coming to your question. So I'm a graduate of this very same college, like 9 years ago. And my interest was in technology when I was starting. When I finished school, I went abroad and I pursued a clinical informatics program. At the college that was giving us an opportunity to do, if you didn't have a computer science background, they'll teach you computer science. If you didn't have a medical background, they'll give you medical. If you didn't have a computer science, they'll give you computer science. So I came out and I worked with some pharmaceutical companies building models to do various things. For example, detect cells. If you give this enough data, could I actually detect and project the cell of a molecule before we go to the market? We used to do that. We also try to look into what could be the best-selling molecule even before you actually come up to invest in R&D to create the molecule. So those are some of the projects that I'm working with. Now, coming into AI, we can debate in different locations, opposing and proposing. But the truth is, AI is already here. So you can be scared or you can be for it, but whether you're scared or not, we are living in the era where AI is actually making so much improvement, as we have seen from different presentations. So my question for you will be, it doesn't have to be scared. Your job is still very, very much secure, given the numbers that we have. But when we talk of AI in our context, it's the idea of augmenting what you already acquired in the 5 years of training. If we send you to Singida or Bagamoyo for you to work, would actually Dr. Elsa give you an edge instead of you actually complaining that you don't have a dermatologist, you don't have an ophthalmologist or someone who can actually. But would we actually give you a tool that will augment the skills and the knowledge that you have? So there are very, very many opportunities for us to invest in AI in Tanzania. And I came with a small graphic of what the USA, the Artificial Intelligence Committee, has drafted as a case study for Africa on what we could actually do in AI in healthcare. And maybe in the near future they can project or they can give you that to look into. There's so many areas where we still need enough of investment in AI.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Fabian. Mr. Dimani, you're in tech industry, so what are the opportunities that are emerging around artificial intelligence that can potentially benefit healthcare industry?
Good evening. First of all, it's exciting. I'll tell you a very small story before I start the discussion. 2 years ago, I was crazy enough to go to pitch to a donor that we can actually run an innovation program for medical students in Tanzania, and they can come up with ideas. And everyone thought this was so stupid. Because all the innovation programs, the hackathon, the boot camps, the acceleration programs, they're just for engineering students. Even my own mentor, who is a very successful medical doctor working with government, was like, it's either you need the money or you really want to create it. I'm excited today, 4 of those companies stand in this stage. So it wasn't a stupid idea. Among the argument was, doctors are very busy, they don't have time to explore new things. First of all, they are not creative enough, they're very narrow-minded, and they're focusing on fixing human beings and machines. Those were the arguments. And when we started the tour to across 13 universities across the country to look for those innovators, even some of the universities question why are we doing that, we're taking time on doctors to do other things that are extremely important. Getting me? The idea is the world is changing, and things are changing very fast. I can just ask Siri right now, how old is Donald Trump? And Siri told me straight the age. I don't care how old is Donald Trump, but as long as I can get the information anytime I need it, it might help me to get a visa next time. You get me? And that is the idea. The idea is not to repress the doctor. It's what actually my brother said. It's a term which was coined by Jim Bromwich of IBM, the CEO. The idea is not artificial intelligence in the hospital. The idea is augmented intelligence in the hospital. We are not looking to replace that. We are looking to increase efficiency and productivity of the doctor based on data and fact, so that we can have out result without any doubt. I don't know if you're getting what I'm trying to say. So getting back to opportunities. I don't have to say the opportunities. The opportunities were the evidence you see here today. Sexually reproductive health in Tanzania is a big issue. All the new HIV infections that are coming to this country that are getting young people. I don't even have to talk about teen pregnancy. Teen pregnancies were extremely high, the numbers are crazy. Don't quote me, but the numbers are crazy. If we talk about, there's a lot of assumption, by the way. There's a recent research done by a lady from Fakala Institute about urban health. Can you imagine? We were thinking that living in urban, hypothetically, you will have good health conditions than someone in rural. Actually, based on data, fact, number, indicators show that Tanzania who is living in rural area has a better chance to survive some of the diseases than a person who lives in urban. And it's a scientific research, so blah blah. You can Google it, it doesn't find any Fakala Health Institute, you can read it. Actually, there's a lot of money that is coming to fund urban research in Tanzania to see how you can improve urban health care in Tanzania compared to money that goes to rural. You're getting it? People are actually dying of non-communicable diseases. Dar es Salaam by 2030 will have 12 million people. 12 million people. Your current ratio may on more coefficient. So what will happen when you are 12 million living in this city? We need to eat to navigate, to be sick, and to have better health care. We're getting it. The idea of bringing innovation and technology into this whole equation is not to replace anything, but to increase the capability. What are the opportunities for Tanzanian students who are doing or studying in the health sector? The medical industry hasn't changed for the past 300 years. I'm reading a very interesting book now called Homo Deus, The History of the Future. Very interesting. Actually, as we're discussing this and we fear that technology might come to kill us, Google's are doing research about how not to die. It's fascinating. So the idea is you guys are the same time. You're the one who's going to transform us, and you're the one who's going to create relevant solution for us. You're getting it? The disease we're suffering here, a person from US is not suffering from those diseases. But you guys, you are the one who come up with frugal innovation that are cost effective, but they can do better and create better results at a cheaper cost. A doctor from China, from India, from UK cannot do that, but you guys can do that. But if you guys doesn't want to work with engineers, who will fix those problems? Again, what we want to see is hybrid skills, amalgam skills. We want to see a doctor working with an ICT student and a graduate or veteran to create a solution that can actually create impact for Tanzania. Are you asking for opportunity? That is opportunity. Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Mtambalike. He has affirmed the idea that nobody is going to lose their job. We're not going to lose our place as healthcare personnel, but our work will be much more enhanced by the use of artificial intelligence. Dr. Bruno, you being part of academia, what is the potential of AI in academia and how you as an academia can integrate these new technologies such as AI into healthcare system?
Thank you very much for nice question, but congratulations for everyone here for this wonderful event. It's such an honor to be here. We've had a lot of good stories and a lot of innovations. Trust me, this is the way that we wish to go. We cannot shy away from technology because technology is all around. What we can do is to embrace it, to address the challenges that are with us or ahead of us. Well, starting in health sector, there are several challenges, but coming from the epidemiological side, there is a huge change in the kind of diseases we used to have in our community and what we have now. And the future, well, we can predict it, but we cannot be really sure. So things are changing. And like the training that you have now, things are changing, and therefore the training needs to change alongside the epidemiological transition that we're having. We used to have only communicable diseases and malnutrition, undernutrition for that matter. But now we are facing a huge burden of lifestyle diseases, non-communicable diseases, obesity, overweight, you can name them. This needs new strategies, and new strategies come from evidence-proven interventions which call for big data. And there is a room for improvement of that. Talking about lifestyle diseases, for example, these are issues that you live with every day. It's not just like infectious disease, you take antibiotic and it's gone. Lifestyle diseases is what you do every day. So you can imagine that if you can integrate interventions alongside your day-to-day lives, things like solutions we see here, how you can manage the way you eat, how you can manage the way you sleep, how you can manage the way you interact, do physical activities, and how you can actually interact all these kind of things into your daily lives, and all these come into place to control the diseases that are bound to happen to you. These are kind of opportunities that artificial intelligence can come along, but it needs data. Now, from the academic point of view, this calls for a new way of thinking or integrating into the kind of training that we do to all you guys, students, and also my fellow faculties, academicians, and researchers. Things need also to change. We need to embrace what's in front of us. So there's an opportunity, and there's a huge problem that needs the new innovative ideas such as artificial intelligence to address them.
Thank you. So you see, we have an opportunity as medical students. We should not just escape and think we're just going to be medical students. We also have to expose ourselves to technology. So as we learn, as he's saying, we are having this vision cycle. The big data will have to know us what is really happening, what is really the problem. Because we get right here and we think that maybe communicable diseases are the big problem, but you get outside there and you find that lifestyle diseases are what is killing us. So you see how data can be very, very useful to us. Back to you, Mr. Chu. So, as a fifth-year medical student, how do you juggle being a CEO of Daktari Mkononi and your studies. I hope you're still doing well. Do you have any subs? He doesn't have any. Yeah, please try more.
Yeah, so in general, it's 4 years that have been difficult.
Yes.
Nanisikia wewe? Uko nyuma? So how we manage is very easy. It's all about time management. We can't study for 24 hours because mind can collapse. Yeah, but if you spend even an hour or 30 minutes per day on the things you love, I think we can manage such things. Because it's all about passion. Some of them maybe wanapenda football. I don't want everyone having artificial intelligence. If you want to, you're welcome, but it's just what you love. If you love it, you'll do it. And you'll find time. So come back. You know, as much as you have to free your time for it, how to find free time for it, it's just about the money. You study, you get the free time, do the other things in order to build your future business. Not all about just being bookish and,
Thank you. So guys, you see, it's all about time management. How do you manage your 24 and 7 days in the week, plus all the 365 days? How do you manage them? So going back to Martha, as we're sitting here, put me aside in a ratio of 1 to 5. We have only one lady here. Aside from me. Aside from me. So, is there any problem? Is there something as ladies we are not doing so good that I'm assuming that you're the only one here, so it kind of like reflects the situation out there that women are few, women who are pursuing things in technology, women who are pursuing artificial intelligence, their ratio is few if you compare to men. So I think what should we do? We've seen very high-spirited speakers, lady speakers. So maybe what should they do so they can get to be like you?
Thank you. Actually, I don't know what is wrong. I also ask the same questions like, why are there few female in the industry, especially in the ICT side? I don't know, but what I've been trying to say is the journey is not easy. I am on the journey, I've been there. I've also been discouraged. As just a simple example, as I was registering myself for my bachelor degree, I did it in software engineering. So during the registration, a male lecturer came to me and was like, "You registering for this course? You beautiful girl, maybe you should go and do business and all that." I was like, "What? You have no idea who I